Okay, this is Ringwalk Media, the Association of Red Lion Specialist Cars, Highland Whiskey Can, and MJ Catterall.
How do you have so many sponsors? That's impressive.
You ask me this every single time. Yeah. It's because we got 101 million views in year 3 last year.
Well done.
There you go. And all 3 of those views came from you.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Anyway,
0.5%.
Mr. Ben Shalom, what an iconic fight on fight night on Friday night at the iconic venue.
Yeah, honestly, so excited, so happy. This is, you do a lot of things as a promoter, but not many like this, and it's good to do something different, but it's also historic. The first ever female fight in 100 years of history at the Albert Hall. It's Lauren Price, or Natasha Jonas against Lauren Price, with an all-female card. It's pretty special.
Well, before we get into the fights here, do you feel like you've had a really big influence on the sort of evolution of female boxing in the last couple of years? Because you're the only one that's put these kind of cards on.
I hope so. Look, we made a conscious effort. We're really passionate about it. We believe in the sport. We know it does good numbers. We know it's got so much potential. We're seeing girls come through now that wouldn't usually come through. Fran Hennessy turning over at 19. Caroline Dubois, 24 years old. Usually the girls were turning over at 30, 32. They wouldn't have the sea of opponents, and the sport is just flourishing. And it's had a lull in the past year because of how well men's boxing was being revitalised, and we want to bring it back, and it does great numbers, and there's some big stars, and they all love to fight each other. So for us, there's nothing not to like. It's a fantastic thing for boxing, and regardless of men and women, Friday is a huge event, and some unbelievable fights.
Well, listen, talking to some of the fights, let's pick a couple. Chloe Watson, Jasmina Zapakoshnia. I get it right, I will. I mean, Chloe, European champion, Jasmina, her sparring partner. This could be a really lit-up fight. What's your opinion of that?
Look, Paul Reddy and Kevin Marie were on to me about putting this fight on for weeks, and so I'm delighted that it got on. They deserve to get on. They're both great girls and both worked hard for it. I remember Chloe was on our card years ago.
Yeah.
Obviously worked hard with Ricky Hatton. Delighted to her get her opportunity on Natasha Jonas's card, who obviously influenced the great elite. Jasmina, great girl, fantastic fighter, coming off the back of a great win as well. That's a proper fight. Karis Artisol against Raymond Chapman equally is another 50-50, big fight.
That's a proper banana skin for Karis, that one.
It is. If you're ever going to beat Karis, it's on being out the ring for 12 months. And she's taken a big risk, because we said we've got to have a big fight on this card, and fair play to her. She's jumping in after a long time out in a great fight, but she wins. She leapfrogs into world level.
Talk about the main event, okay? Natasha and Joe, obviously very vocal this week. Bit of banter up there, but some very valid points as well. What do you think of the outcome of this fight?
Natasha Jonas, I've had 7 world title fights in a row with. She met me and she wasn't a world champion. We've achieved incredible things. She's headlined incredibly. She now is still going on. I would love nothing more. I want the best female to win on Friday night, truly. And of course, Natasha felt like there might have been other fights out there.
Yeah.
I don't think there is. I think Katie Taylor's got a sight set on the Serrano 3, and this was the biggest payday out there. 2 British fights, the biggest all-British female fight in history. The 2 best welterweights in the world, and the spice adds to it. And
you love it, don't you?
Yeah, it's great, and the trainers add to it. They're 2 great trainers, so it's a phenomenal fight.
And nice to see Joe vocal, considering the way he is at the moment. He's really on it, isn't he?
Yeah, he'll never change, which is great. And he gives me a lot of shit, but I've known him for so long now. One of the people I've known the longest in boxing. I truly have so much respect for the man. I always have, and I love having him up, and I love every fight he's involved with is bigger because Joe Gallagher's involved, and that's the best thing you can say about him as a promoter. And he'll always fight the corner, and he gave it to everyone up there, and what a legend. With what he's going through, you don't hear one whisper about it.
No. Well, listen, I've had the tap, so I've got to stop, but I can't wait for Friday night. An iconic venue, iconic show. Congratulations on putting it on, Ben.
Thank you.
As always,
Appreciate it.
Looking forward to it, mate.
Top man, thank you. Cheers, mate.